Hi guys, we are busy with projectile motion in the vertical direction. It's Dr. Mel, and we're going to do an example with hot air balloons in this lesson. Let's just quickly have a look. We've got up and down movement. Please make sure that you distinguish, is it going up? Is it going down? Know that the 9.8 value will always be downward. See what final velocities they give you, and know, is the distance between the floor, the ground, and the hot air balloon, or the package, or the ball. Where are your different indications that they give you? So let's have a look at question 3. Question 3 says to us, a hot air balloon moves vertically downwards. This is a bit different to the previous examples that we did, where the hot air balloon was moving upward. So if it's moving downward, everything within this hot air balloon will also be moving downward. It's got a constant velocity of 1.2. When it reaches a height of 22 meters, a ball is dropped from the balloon. Now, remember, dropped when it's moving at 1.2 will mean that the ball is also at a velocity of 1.2 meter per second. Assume that the ball has no effect on the speed of the balloon. Let me quickly clarify that. If I've got bags with sand within my hot air balloon, they often do it to give it some weight, and I'm throwing that out of the balloon, that will seriously impact on the movement of the balloon because it's lighter. In this case, they're saying to me, you don't have to consider that the ball has any effect. A small ball won't have any effect on the weight of the balloon. And they're also indicating to me, ignore air friction. You might get another question where they actually ask you to calculate what the air friction is, because that will be a force and that will be in relation to the gravity. So make sure that you know that it's also, again, a free body diagram, two forces. But they said we can ignore it in this question. They're asking me a few questions. Explain the term projectile. Remember, always a theory question. Is the hot air in free fall? And explain why. Calculate the time that it takes the ball to hit the ground. So the ball is being dropped, it's moving down. Calculate the time when it drops and hits the ground. When the ball lands on the ground, it is in contact with the ground. It says there, it's in contact with the ground for zero point 0.3 seconds and then bounces upward again. So it's on the ground there and it moves upward again with a speed of 15 meters per second. So can you see you've got a ball going down, wasting time there, and then going up. So we'll get to elastic collisions again just when we do bouncing balls just now. Calculate how high the balloon is from the ground when the ball reaches this maximum height. So you need to calculate a few things with the ball in order for you to see where the balloon is. The first question, explain the term projectile motion. Projectile motion meaning it's only the force of gravity that's pulling it down. And it is accelerating with 9.8 meter per second square, and it is definitely moving downwards. So remember the term projectile, only the gravitational force. Is the hot air balloon in free fall? Free fall means it's just falling down with gravity. No, it's not. The answer, firstly, no. Why? Because it's got a constant velocity of 1.2 meter per second. So be careful that you read the question, answer the question with the correct reason. The third question that they ask of me is to calculate the time that it takes the ball to hit the ground. So we've got the initial velocity of the ball as 1.2. We know the delta y is 22 meters, and we know we have the acceleration of 9.8. Now there's a few ways to go about to do this calculation. You can either work out the final velocity first. So you can say the final velocity is equal to the initial velocity, and it's both in square values, and you've got that a distance. So I can say I have to calculate the final velocity. It's starting with 1.2 square. It's accelerating with 9.8, and I know the distance is 22. I then found, and remember this is square, so you've got to find the square root, the final velocity as 20.8 meter per second. So it hits the ground with 20.8 meter per second. I know now that I can calculate the time. So I've got 20.8 as the final, I've got 1.2 as the initial, 9.8 the acceleration, and I then calculated the time to go down and reach the ground the first time as 2 seconds. You could also do it with another equation. You could have said, I've got delta y, I have the initial velocity, I do not have the time. So let's do it with this equation. I've got the 22, I know it's being dropped from the balloon going down at 1.2. I don't have delta t. I know the acceleration is 9.8. And again, I don't have delta t squared. So what we have here is 22 is equal to 1.2 t plus, that would be 49 t squared. And if you now go and put that into your math equation, which you now know by heart because you've done a lot of math, now that would be minus 4ac over 2a, you will find a value of 2 seconds. Now, if your math is strong, please do it this way. Do you see you find the same answer? If you've got a little bit of an uncertainty with math, go the other route. You can find the final velocity. You then have only the time that's not completed, and then you'll find the same answer. So you do your math, you do your physics the way that you've got your ability. So what we know now is that it took the ball 2 seconds to drop to the ground. They said to me it's on the ground for 0.3 seconds. They now want to know the balloon, the time that how high is the balloon at the time that this ball is at its maximum height there. The only thing I do not have of the ball is how much time does it take to go from 15 meter per second on the ground to 0 meter per second there. I know that is 2 and I know that is 0.3. So let's do this calculation. We can say the final velocity is equal to the initial velocity plus the acceleration times t. I know the final velocity at the maximum height here will be 0. I know it started now with 15, and remember it's upwards, so it's minus 15 plus 9.8 delta t. And you'll now find an answer of 1.53 seconds. What do I have here? I've got the ball going down 2 seconds, staying on the ground for 0.3 seconds, and then going up with 1.53 seconds. That gives me a total time of 3.83 seconds. Then it's up there. But that's not what they asked of me. They asked me to calculate how high the balloon is in 3.83 seconds. So let's go and calculate the balloon's delta y. Delta y is vi delta t plus a half a delta t squared. I need to calculate the y of the balloon. The time span is 3.83 because that's what it took the ball to go down and up again. So I've got initial velocity of the balloon, the time of 3.83. I know the balloon is not accelerating, so that's 0. I can then calculate the distance as 4.6 meters. Now be careful. The balloon traveled from that point there 4.6 meters in 3.83 seconds. Just have a look at the question. Calculate how high the balloon is. So what they want of me is what's the height from the ground. Now it was initially, when it was being dropped, 22 meters. It now traveled 4.6 meters, which gives us a height of 22 minus 4.6, which is 17.4 meters from the ground. Complete the question and go and read again. After you've done the distance that the balloon traveled, how high is it in actual fact from the ground? So make sure that you read the question very carefully. Actually find the correct equation, manipulate the equation with the values that you have, and work very accurately. I hope at this stage that you can define projectile motion or free fall, that you can draw graphs or interpret graphs, that you can identify the quantities, and that you can calculate accurately with hot air balloons. Remember again, a hot air balloon can be moving up and it can be moving down. In the previous lesson, we did two examples when moving up, and this one was with a balloon moving down. I hope you are accurate and you get all your marks whilst doing your question on vertical projectile motion. Bye-bye.